painting trees, planting trees, cleaning, league tennis, rust removal, and Korean dining. Stay tuned till the end. Thanks for being here on my channel. So I recently bought this coffee table book that has all these gorgeous pictures. Everything in the book is from this island just off the coast of Spain, southern Spain, and the island is Ibiza. And this tree was just massive, like the branches came down and laid themselves on the ground, and it was so beautiful. And I thought, you know, this little tiny painting is only a space of 2 by 3 inches, but let's see if we can make this happen. So first, right here, I am going in where the light is hitting the top of these boughs and branches with a lighter shade of green. It looks like the tree looks like it could be some variation of a juniper, just from looking at the needles. I'm looking at the picture, the book, but anyways, now I'm going back in with a little bit darker paint right there. I love that little dot, little circle that I left. I hope that stays, because that's a point of interest, I think. So as I was watching myself paint this, once it's been edited, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this tree, this massive tree, looks a lot like a stem of broccoli. And then I'm like, I'm wondering if there's a scientific term that relates the correlation between something that is edible to something that grows on a much bigger level. And what I found was there wasn't a specific term. If you know the specific term, you know, please share. But they did say that there is a convergent evolution when unrelated organisms evolve similarly in shape due to environmental pressures. And then there's something called fractal growth. Many trees and plants exhibit fractal-like branching patterns, exhibiting, like, well, an exhibit would be this broccoli floret. Its same form repeating on a much larger scale with this massive tree. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. So I keep putting in, I think this is just the second shade of green, and oh nope, there's the third. Maybe these boughs are ones that are lower in the shade or represent boughs that are on the back side of the tree that you're seeing seeing through the tree. So this little, this massive tree, I shouldn't say little, but this little painting was really fun to do. And I could see myself taking this little study and painting it on a much larger scale. All my paint I've kept pretty wet, so I mean, it's a small painting, so the paint has stayed pretty wet, and I've painted it pretty quickly. So it's fun to see the water blend and bleed into the other colors, and yeah, I'm really liking this. So I think maybe some people would ask, why am I painting the sky in this way versus painting all of the background blue first and then painting in the tree? That's another way to do it, and I've done that way as well. But when this is done, you will see that there is so much light that comes through the tree doing it this way, and it would have a very different look if I were to have painted all of the background blue first. So you see all these little white spaces. I am still going to, of course, fill a lot of it in with the branch work, but you'll still see so much light from the brightness of the white paper, which is one of the special things that you get with watercolor that you don't get when you use another medium like acrylic or oil. So you can see all the light coming through, and it just gives it such a bright feeling. I think painting a tree is an excellent example of letting your mind fill in the blanks, because the mind knows that there are a lot of other branches here that are not painted, but that's okay, because your mind just goes, oh, okay, it just fills it in. What would not look right is to try and paint every single little branch. It would just become too busy and be too much. So the actual picture has a lot of shading underneath, but because I have such limited space in the foreground, I'm just doing a small representation of some shadowing. But I think I'm going to paint this on a bigger scale at some point. I love trees. I love clouds. Those are two things that I'm often taking pictures of. And there you have it. Okay, so this was such a big lesson for me. I learned a lot of things when I was doing this rust removal. If you saw my earlier video when we first got back on the island, we noticed there was all this rust all over our brand new tile that we had laid like a year before. And so I started watching all these YouTube videos, and it just looked like it was going to be such a big process to get this rust off. And I kind of put it off, and then because I'm out there in the heat and the humidity, and you know, Darren offered to have somebody else do it, and I'm like, no, I want to do this. I want to figure this out. Well, look how beautiful and sparkly. It really came clean, so easy. So I'm super happy about that.
Wanna make you happy and then she goes. 나만 혼자 남겨뒀어. 대화가 필요해. 너 먼저 나에게 말해봐. 너와 나의 이 관계가 달라졌음 해. We're out of time, so tell me you want more. 지나가버린 추억, 너무 잦은 다툼, 가끔씩은 지치기도 해. 이제는 너무 익숙해져 버린 너의 한손들이 난 더 이상 하고 싶지 않아. So baby tell me why not, why not, 너와 나.
I think a lot of women have a hard time getting protein in, and I'm really not a big chicken lover, but if you cover it up enough, I'm good with it. So I'm making chicken salad. One thing I don't show here is that I did sprinkle lemon on the apples to keep them from turning brown, but I have apples and lemon and celery, and then I add here some pumpkin seeds and some craisins and pecans, and I had to change bowls because the bowl I had wasn't big enough. And then I'm going to add some avocado mayo oil and give it a stir. And then I add here some tahine. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Tahine spice. And it's got a little heat, so you could leave that out. And then salt and pepper to taste. And it's just like a good thing to have in the fridge for me, because I can just have it with some celery and some crackers, and it's a great lunch for me. And actually Darren really likes it too. So a lot of my Utah friends always ask me if I play tennis here, and they're really curious about that. But I do play tennis here like almost every day, and I play on a league, and the ladies are so nice, and this has been a really, really fun league. Just really, really nice ladies. We all get along. We're competitive, but we're just in it for fun too. Of course, we want to win. And we did. Saturday we won 4-1. In fact, our team is doing really well. A few episodes back, we went to the other side of the island to Cabo Rojo, and there was this beautiful lighthouse. Took some pictures and some video, and anyways, I thought it would be fun to do a tiny painting of it. Of course, you know, if any of these paintings were done on a larger scale, they would have more detail and they would take on a different look. But this is just, you know, like a quick study of what we experienced, and it was fun, and it was fun to paint this. So that day that we were there, the sky was really heavy, and in fact, I think we got sprinkled on a little bit, which is a pretty common thing to happen when you're in Puerto Rico. So I hope this painting represents that heaviness that you see in the clouds, and you know, whatever the clouds are representing, that's what you're going to see as well in the water. Same kind of colors and shadows. Thank you so much for watching. You know, this channel is super new and I'm super new at this, and I so appreciate every subscriber and every comment and every thumbs up. It means so much. So if you enjoyed it, please forward it to somebody else, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.